Okay, so what I want to do today is use Voodoo and Enchanting and just get you excited about using Enchanting because it's going to be in the new Cloud 9 collection. So I got that, so I'll probably do another video with that collection too. But I already have my regular stuff on, the Primetime, the Well Rested Clear Radiance Mix. And then I have Soft Focus Pure just under the brow as a little highlight. So I'm going to start off with a little Voodoo dry on the large shadow brush from Target. And I'm just going to give myself a little guide here and kind of go above the crease so that I get that nice little halo color just above the crease. I love Voodoo. This is a really pretty color. It's like grape with a little sparkle in it. And this just gives you something to work with, and you can kind of determine the shape of the look. Just a little bit of color there. So there we go, just the light layer of Voodoo. Okay, so what I have here is Voodoo, and I have my eye drops, and then I just sprinkled a little bit of Voodoo over one of the eye drops. And I'm going to take the concealer brush from Target and just kind of mix those together. Now, I'm attempting to get new stuff so that hopefully I can demonstrate how to foil better. And I usually just kind of mash it around in there. And the way that it looks now, it's too wet. So I'll need to add a little bit more. And I'll just sprinkle a little bit over it like that, and then kind of mash that in. Now, a good thing to do too is if you sprinkle it over a wide area, you can just take a little bit and then you'll get the right consistency in one side over here. And then when you do the other eye, you can sort of mix in the rest. But that looks pretty good, so we'll give that a try. That's a soap dish. I've been looking for things that I can use that might make it more visible on camera, so I've got a couple of other things that might work better too, so we'll give those a try. And now I'm just foiling Voodoo on the outer half about of my eye. Just go back and get that little nub that I left in there. Now, what I want is I want the Enchanting to kind of blend backwards into the Voodoo. But if you want a more smoky eye or a kind of just a darker overall look, it might be better to start off with a lighter color and do that on the inner half, and then come back with a darker color and blend it this way so that more of your eye has that kind of darker, smokier look. So since I want it to be a little bit lighter and brighter, I'll do the darker color first. But you can do it the other way too. Just depends on the look you want. Okay, so there's the Voodoo foiled. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the Enchanting, and I've got, again, the same thing, a little drop of water in there, and then a tap of the Enchanting all over the place. So I'm just going to mix it around like that. And now it looks too watery there, but on the brush I think that it's looking about the right consistency. It even looks a little thick on the brush, so if I just kind of smush it around a little bit, I think I'll get the right consistency. And I'm just going to test it on my hand, and it looks really fine over there. But it does look watery, you know, on the plate. So that happens with some colors. Some foil better than others, and or they foil differently than others. Yesterday I was using Take Me, and that one foils really strangely, and when you put it on, it looks nice, and then it looks it looks kind of a darker but, you know, bubblegummy pink. But then when it dries, it's like a powdery mess. So it really didn't work out the way that you might have expected. And some that are more eyeshadow-like do that. So but Enchanting actually foils really nicely on the lid, so it's just when you're mixing it that it looks strange. Okay, so I have the Enchanting foiled on the inner half, and I've kind of blended it back into the Voodoo, and it just sort of blends in really nicely. It's pink, but it looks more on the purple side to me, so it goes really well with purples. Okay, so my eyeshadow's looking really rough around the edges. I have some really distinct lines both on the inside and the outside. So I'm going to take my full taper brush and I'm going to add a little bit of soft focus pure to the brush. Okay, so we're just going to do our usual thing. And since I added the soft focus pure, I'm going to start on the inner half and try to smooth that line out. And then just come, and I'm going to go from the crease and blend it out like that, because you probably have a little concentration of color in the crease and you don't want the lid color blended too much, so because that's where the foiling is. So we'll just blend that up, and there you go. So now I'm just going to add the liner. Now, okay, so what I have here is just a drop of water, which you probably can't see because there's no color. So I'm using Mystic Night here, and I'm going to just take a little scoop on my brush and mix it in with the dot of eye drops that I have here. And that's another way that you can do the foiling or mixing up a liner, is you can just dip into whatever color you're using, get some on the brush like that, and kind of mix it together like that. Now, this is a little hard because usually I have an extra drop of water in case it's too thick, and that's like way too thick. It's like not moving anywhere. And so I'm just trying to do this. This is hard because all the water is going to run into the mixture. And that's a little better, but it might be on the thin side. But it looks kind of inky. It's I don't know if you can see it. So it is just a tad thin, not very much though. So I just want like a little tiny more on my brush and then just mix it in. And then I kind of press it and then just roll it a little bit so that it doesn't get really gunky. And then I'll test it out on the side. Now if it's looking a little bit too watery, you might just wait a second and it'll get to the right consistency. You can blot it around like that too to get out some of the extra water. You could even blot it on your towel a little bit. Okay, so we'll give this a try, see if it's too watery. But yeah, it's a little too watery, so that's the first time I'm using this mixing dish, but normally with my dots like right next to each other, it's easier to get the consistency right, because I can just dab really quickly into a dot. Okay, so we got the liner. And then the grape, or the Voodoo is looking a little bit lighter since I blended it, so I might just pat a little bit more color over that. But that's basically the look. Thanks for watching.